What's up, guys? It's Crypto Clay here. Hope you guys are all having an awesome Friday night. I hope that this weekend is going to be awesome for you guys. I hope that you guys have some good stuff planned for this weekend. And hopefully you guys made some profits this week on the market so that you can do some fun and exciting things this weekend. I know me personally, this week has been it's been pretty interesting so far, but we're going to get into why it's been interesting for me personally. And the first thing that we're actually going to be talking about today is something that I find incredibly interesting. However, it's something that I kind of knew was going to eventually happen. So hopefully we can get into some really cool things tonight. Tonight is going to be based on a lot of beginner stuff. So if you're fairly experienced or if you're a pro at trading, tonight is not going to be for you. However, you might find some of the things that I'm talking about tonight to be pretty interesting. So you're just going to have to decide if this is something you want to tune into. Also, at the end of tonight, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of $25 worth of Bitcoin. So at the end of tonight's stream, I'm going to select somebody who puts in the comments their Bitcoin address, and you're going to receive $25 worth of Bitcoin. So one lucky person is going to receive that, and who knows what that $25 worth of Bitcoin will be in a year from now. Nobody really knows, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I hope that everybody sticks around to the end for that giveaway, but also I hope that people stick around because the content tonight is something that I'm really looking forward to educating about, and I hope that some of this stuff helps a lot of the newbies out there that are brand new getting into cryptocurrencies. We've got a good show tonight, so stay tuned for everything. The first thing that I really wanted to talk about tonight, though, is something that a lot of my friends recently have been asking me about. Like, personal close friends of mine have been asking me about this one specific topic. So what I wanted to talk about is actually something that somebody just commented on in the comments section, and that is Ripple. So let's get into it, guys. A lot of my friends recently know, well, let me start off by saying a lot of my friends, a lot of my personal friends and family know that I'm into cryptocurrencies. They know that I've been invested for a long time, and a lot of these same friends have actually been criticizing me for the past several years for being invested in cryptocurrencies. So I actually get to, say I told you so now at this point because the market cap has just grown exponentially over the past year. Now, for those of you that have been watching my YouTube videos for a while now, you know that I'm not really interested in Ripple, and I don't really like trading it or using it for its purpose because it's not decentralized, and it's a very centralized network, and it's not really a cryptocurrency in the form that Bitcoin or Ethereum are. So I try to keep my hands off of Ripple. However, I have had so many people recently asking me about it that I decided, you know what, tonight for my very first live stream, I'm going to be talking about it. And so tonight we're going to be discussing a little bit about what's going on with Ripple and why it's exploding on the market right now. For those of you that are brand new to the market, Ripple has always been one of the top contenders on CoinMarketCap. However, it just beat Ethereum in market cap size, which is a huge ordeal. For those of you that are brand new, you probably know that Ethereum has been number 2 on CoinMarketCap for a while now. Ever since, I think, the beginning of this year, it's it's been number 2 on CoinMarketCap. And the reason for that is because so many companies have piled onto the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. So it's no surprise that Ethereum has been number 2 after Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had an exceptional year as well. However, I think Ethereum has outperformed it as far as percentage gain goes. But moving on, we're going to be talking about Ripple first tonight. And I typed Ripple on Coinbase into Google to show you guys that there is a lot of speculation that Ripple is going to be coming to Coinbase. And honestly, I think this is the number one thing driving up the price right now. For those of you that have been paying attention to Coinbase recently, especially with the Bitcoin Cash fiasco, I think that you know what happened with that Bitcoin Cash being entered onto Coinbase basically flooded the market, and it stopped all trading on Coinbase for a brief minute, and then Coinbase decided to cut off trading for Bitcoin Cash for an entire 24 hours until they had enough volume to trade it again. And people were furious about this, absolutely furious, because some people bought in at $9,500 on Bitcoin Cash. And whenever trading began again, it dropped down to $3,500. So people literally lost $6,000 on a single coin of Bitcoin Cash. So for those that bought several of them, they lost a gigantic amount of money in a single trade. And it was really unfortunate what happened. But Ripple potentially being added to Coinbase would add so much more to the market because Coinbase is the largest exchange here in the United States. So people are like scooping up as much XRP right now to get their hands on it before it is added to Coinbase, because they know that as soon as it's added, it's going to skyrocket in price, because Coinbase pretty much adds a ton of volume to whatever it gets its hands on. We saw it whenever Litecoin was added to Coinbase. We saw it when Ethereum was added to Coinbase. I mean, look at Ethereum today. I don't think that Ethereum would be where it is today without being added to Coinbase, because people can go on Coinbase and buy directly from their bank account. And that's one of the beauties of Coinbase. Now, I talk about the fees on Coinbase all the time and how much I hate the fees that are attached to Coinbase. But at the end of the day, it is the simplest exchange to use. You literally go and click 2 buttons and you confirm a purchase. And that's all there is to it. So it's an incredible platform for beginners and novice traders. And if you haven't started trading yet, if you're brand new to the cryptocurrency scene and you haven't started trading yet, I highly encourage you to take a look at one of 2 exchanges, and that is Coinbase or Gemini. Now, Gemini, I haven't had a chance to use yet, but I've heard really great things about it. I plan on opening up an account this week on Gemini. And so the reason that I say those 2 are the best is because you can add them directly to your bank account. You can attach your account directly to your bank account and send funds directly over. And so that's one of the beauties of those 2 exchanges. And Gemini is actually owned by the Winklevoss twins. For those of you that don't know who those people are, they won an incredible lawsuit against Facebook for claiming that they created Facebook, or it was their idea. And after they won that settlement, they actually went out and bought about 1% of all Bitcoin, and that is probably the best purchase they will ever make in their life. because now look at Bitcoin. Look at where it's at. It made them billionaires whenever they were only a couple millionaires. So now they're billionaires based off of one investment that they made. And that's just an incredible story. But they decided to take some of their profits and make an exchange off of that. So really cool thing that they did there. The thing that I wanted to talk about, though, the reason that I'm talking about these exchanges is because Ripple, there's speculation going on right now that Ripple is going to be added to Coinbase, the largest exchange in the US. And like I said, if that occurs, then Ripple is going to skyrocket. Another reason that I think people are getting pumped about Ripple is because they were actually on Jimmy Kimmel's show. The tweets, the mean tweets section of the Jimmy Kimmel show actually hosted the dev team of XRP, and that is a lot of, that's pretty huge for a cryptocurrency, because Bitcoin has been a huge proponent of news over the past year, but other cryptocurrencies aren't really listed in news articles all around the globe like Bitcoin is. So being hosted on a show that is as large as Jimmy Kimmel is a huge ordeal for cryptocurrencies. And I've talked about this in the past. In order for us to have main adoption of cryptocurrencies, we have to get celebrities on board. And we've seen that over the past year. There have been a lot of celebrities that have, talked about ICOs that they're purchasing and things like that. But we haven't really seen anything like this. And so them being hosted on Jimmy Kimmel is a huge shout out to the cryptocurrency scene, and specifically Ripple. Now, this puts them in the spotlight, and just your average Joe is like, well, what the hell is Ripple? Let me look that up. And so we have people looking up what Ripple is now, and they're like, oh my God, look at these gains that Ripple has had over the past week. Let me buy into that. So this is really, really good stuff for Ripple. However, again, my personal opinion about Ripple is that I'm not a big fan because it's not decentralized. I am very much in favor of owning my own money, and you can do that with decentralized cryptocurrencies. However, with something like Ripple, you're still tied directly to banks. And I know for some of you that might not be a big ordeal, but for me it is. I have always been in favor of the technology behind decentralized peer-to-peer transactions. That is my biggest thing when it comes to looking for new projects. So if you don't care about decentralization and you're just looking to make some money on the side, then Ripple might be the best bet for you, because a lot of large corporate banks are honing in on Ripple just because it is so quick. It allows microtransactions from anywhere around the world, and it doesn't require all of this, bank-to-bank transfers. It literally takes your fiat currency and directly translates it or exchanges it for another fiat currency around the world. So congratulations if you do have Ripple and you've made a great amount of money over the past week. I really do support you in your decision in purchasing it, because I am a capitalist, and at the end of the day, I think that, profit is profit. So if you did purchase into Ripple a while ago, like I have a buddy that bought Ripple whenever it was half a penny, and he's doing really well today. He's doing really, really well today. So I congratulated him, and I hope that it continues going up for him. I honestly do. Me personally, I won't touch it. But let me just show you what's going on Twitter. So I opened this this Twitter search about 5 minutes before I started my stream, and we've been streaming for about 20 minutes now, and there have been 440 comments about Ripple in that time frame. So you can see that people are really talking about Ripple right now. And in my eyes, that means that it's only going to do well, because the more people are talking about it, the more popular it's going to become, the more it's going to raise the price, the value of it. And so if you do have Ripple, I would continue holding on to it. I really would, because I think that it's going to do well over time. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about with Ripple. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was actually Bitcoin. I had somebody asking me earlier if I could talk about Bitcoin tonight in my live stream, about why it's sticking around the $14,000 to $15,000 range. And there's actually several reasons why I think that it is sticking around this range. Now, for those of you that are brand new to my show that don't know anything about me, I am very much a fundamentalist, and what that means is I pay attention to the fundamentals of every single project, and if I don't agree with the fundamentals of that project, I don't invest in it. So very much a fundamentalist. And so whenever somebody asks me a question like, why is Bitcoin hanging around this price range, I have to take a look at the fundamentals. However, tonight I actually want to show you guys something that is very technical, but then I'll add a few fundamental reasons as to why I think the price is staying around this range. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is a chart from this time last year. Now, exactly around this time last year, you can see that the price was going up, going up, going up, and then it just crashed. And it crashed hard. And we came down here, and then we thought it was going back up, but then realized it was just a bull trap and it tanked even lower, which is something that we've seen over the past week. We got down to $11,000, and people that had their buy orders waiting at $11,000, they bought in and they were like, oh, hell yeah, man. I got Bitcoin at $11,000 whenever it was 20K last week. And they were all excited, and then it started going up. It got to 16,000 again, and then it kind of started dipping back down, and I think it dipped down to 10,000, and now it's back up around 14 to 15 grand, and it's actually just been hovering around that point for the past week. And so the first thing that I did was I came and took a look at this graph. Now, if you notice, the market cap of Bitcoin reached about 19, I think it reached about $22 billion altogether this time last year. $22 billion. Now, that might not sound like a lot now because Bitcoin is at such a high, but it reached $22 billion and then it came crashing all the way to $12 billion market cap. So the price reached about $757 from about $1,200. That is a huge loss. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And for those of you that are new to trading cryptocurrencies, I'm going to tell you this right now. Bitcoin, every time it hits a new all-time high, it crashes. I shouldn't say crash. I shouldn't say crash at all. Every time Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, it corrects. And that is very healthy. You want corrections whenever the price of something just goes straight up. You want corrections because if it continues to just shoot straight up, eventually it's going to come crashing down to zero. So you want those corrections so that it has time to rebound. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now, I think. I think that we're seeing a normal correction that we have always seen. However, there is a lot of FUD going on right now with the market. News articles from very prestigious newspapers and magazines and online catalogs and forums and blogs are showing a lot of FUD for Bitcoin right now. You have the cryptocurrency enthusiasts that are saying, oh, this is just a correction. It's going to shoot back up and go to $100,000 next year. And then you have people on the other side of the aisle that are like, oh, this is the end for Bitcoin. The thing about that, though, is people have been saying that every single time Bitcoin corrects. Now, do they have reasons to back up their claims at this point? Yes, some of them do. Bitcoin's fees are extremely high, which don't allow microtransactions, so it's not being used as it was intended. We're actually having to find new reasons to use Bitcoin. A lot of people are calling it digital gold now. So we definitely have reasons. You know, transactions are taking longer than they ever have before. But I made a video about how we can actually change that yesterday. I made a video about segregated witness and running segregated witness wallets that can help transform the Bitcoin network into what it's intended to be. And I hope that we continue to spread that knowledge and gain new knowledge on how we can improve the network even further. I really hope we do, because I've always been an advocate for Bitcoin. You know, it was my first love whenever I got into the cryptocurrency market back in 2012. So I've always really, really appreciated Bitcoin, and it will always be my first love whenever it comes to cryptocurrencies. But I pulled up Bitcoin and I searched for news articles, and you know, the first thing that you see is a look at Bitcoin's big year. Everybody wants to talk about how much money Bitcoin currently is at. Second thing, from $900 to $20,000, Bitcoin's historic 2017 price run revisited. But the third thing you see here is the cost of Bitcoin payments is skyrocketing because the network. And then Dennis Gartman says, stay the heck away from Bitcoin. Next one from Forbes right here. Last one was CNBC. Next one from Forbes here is the Great Bitcoin Scam. So you can see there's a lot of FUD being spread right now about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole. And that's causing a lot of people to shy away from the market. Also, we had a lot of people, when the price hit 20K, take profits. And there is nothing wrong with that at all, guys. If you invested years ago and 20K made you a multi-millionaire and you want to take your profits now because you decided to make an extremely risky decision on investing in something like Bitcoin, then you deserve to take those profits. So that happened along with all of this FUD that's being spread, along with the fact that every time Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, it corrects. And so you have a great mixture of things that are causing the price to stay around that 14 to 15 grand right now. But I want to go back to this chart right here, and I want to show you guys something. So you saw that it hit that $750 mark around January 12th, and it kind of hovered around $800 for a little while. Then it kind of went up a little bit and hovered around the $900 mark for a while in January. But then let's take a look at what happened. So as you can see here, in January all the way up to about March, the end of March, beginning of April, it went up to about $1,000, and it kind of hovered around the $1,000 mark. Then in May, we saw it double. And then in August, we saw it double again. And then in October, when was it? Then in November, it doubled again. So over the past year, we have seen an incredible ride for Bitcoin. And so whenever somebody asks me what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin, I think that first of all, we need to solve this scaling solution. And I think segregated witness and the Lightning Network are two ways that we can start solving that problem. But it begins with us, the users. We have to download the proper wallets to support segregated witness, which is an on-chain scaling solution, and it starts directly with us. So, future goals for Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin could easily hit $100,000 over the next year to 2 years, and I am very bullish on it. However, I am more bullish on other projects like Neo, and I did a video about that either yesterday or 2 days ago, and I talked about reasons why I'm very bullish on that project. And there are other projects out there that I'm also very bullish on, and I've made videos about those that you can go back and take a look at. But I think that in the long run, Bitcoin is going to do extremely well. However, eventually, something has to surpass Bitcoin because Bitcoin cannot scale the way that other brand new technologies will be able to. Like you take a look at IOTA, and IOTA is going to be able to scale exponentially faster than networks like the Bitcoin network. So eventually, something is going to take Bitcoin's place, but do I foresee that happening in the next year to 2 years? No. And the reason for that is every single exchange trades off of Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin. You know, most of these exchanges don't use fiat currencies. Like you take a look at Bittrex and Binance, they don't use fiat currencies to trade off of. They use Bitcoin to trade off of. And Bitcoin has the most trading pairs out of any other cryptocurrency on the market. And I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. So you ask me if I think that Bitcoin is going to continue to do well? Yes, I do. Because in order for you to be able to buy those smaller projects that you want to invest in, some of those ICOs, some of those, smaller cryptocurrencies, you have to have Bitcoin to do that. And so I think that people are going to have to buy Bitcoin in order to invest in these other projects for a while. I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. So I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, and I think that it's going to continue to go up over the next year to 2 years, especially with it being more and more in the media spotlight. I think that's going to help mass adoption, and I think that in the long run, something might surpass Bitcoin, but in the next year to 2 years, I think Bitcoin is going to remain dominant over other cryptocurrencies. With Ripple doing as well as it's doing, it could definitely stay in the number 2 spot for a while, but I don't think it's going to surpass Bitcoin anytime soon. I mean, just take a look at the market cap difference. Bitcoin has $244 billion market cap right now. Ripple, doing as well as it's doing right now, up 54% today, still only has an $86 billion market cap. I say only $86 billion, but that is a hell of a feat considering, at the beginning of this year, the market cap for the entire cryptocurrency scene wasn't even that high. So I guess I shouldn't say only. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about Bitcoin. So we talked about Ripple, why I think Ripple is doing what it's doing. We talked about Bitcoin, the future of Bitcoin, what I think is going to happen, why I think Bitcoin is staying kind of in a slump right now. But the last thing that I personally wanted to talk about tonight is actually a brand new trading platform that will allow you to create essentially your own mutual fund using smart contracts on the Ethereum network. And it's called Prism by the Shapeshift team. For those of you that don't know what Shapeshift is, it's probably the easiest exchange to use in the world. It allows you to take one cryptocurrency asset and trade it directly for another. And it's quick and seamless and super easy. However, the fees, because of its ease, are a lot higher than other exchanges. But if you're brand new to cryptocurrencies, this is the perfect platform for you. If you just want to, take a cryptocurrency that you really like and you buy some Bitcoin on Coinbase using your credit card or your bank account, and you're like, you know what? I don't really care to use or set up an account on another exchange. I'm just going to use Shapeshift and trade directly from my cryptocurrency by sending, a specific amount of Bitcoin to an address that it tells me to, and they're going to send my cryptocurrency that I just bought directly to my wallet of choice. So let's say I want to take Bitcoin and trade it into, let's just see what we can receive. Okay, let's just say I want to take Bitcoin and trade it into game credits. So I would select Bitcoin in the deposit and receive game credits. Now I would type in my game credits wallet address right here, and they would send game credits directly to my game credits wallet. It is that simple. That's all there is to it. So super simple, the easiest exchange in the world to use for brand new cryptocurrency users. I really, really like this platform, but let's go ahead and take a look at Prism. So Prism is currently in a closed beta right now. You have to be invited to use it, and I've been a Shapeshift user for a long time, like since its alpha, and so they decided to send me an invitation to the closed beta. Now you can go on their website right here and try to get added to the closed beta. However, I want to show you guys this for future purposes. If you want to go in and create an account on Prism once it's launched for everybody, I think this is a really great platform, and I'm going to show you guys why. Let's see. All right. Let's go over here. I'm going to log in real quick, guys. I'm just logging into Prism right now. So that I can show you guys exactly. Exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So here we go. Let me get down to sorry this is taking so long, guys. Okay, so as you can see, you send. Let me explain what I'm doing right now. So with Prism, you send a specific amount of Ethereum to a smart contract that you want to invest in specific cryptocurrencies. And on this smart contract, they have a ton of crypto assets that you can choose from. A ton. And so with it, whenever you send the Ethereum to them, you go in and select the cryptocurrencies that you want to invest in and the percentages that you want to use for each asset. And you basically build a crypto mutual fund, essentially, using the Ethereum that you sent in. Now, as you can see, I'm already up 2.5%, and I just started yesterday. So you go in, you tell them how much money you want to invest using Ethereum, and then they send you an address to a smart contract, and you send that Ethereum to them. And once you do that, you go in and select the assets that you want to add to your fund. And so everything that you see right here that I selected are all added to this smart contract. Now, Prism, Shapeshift, they have these assets allocated specifically for these smart contracts. And as the price of these specific assets go up, your mutual fund goes up as well, depending on the gains or losses that you have for each specific asset. Now, when I did this, I put 5% into every single one of these assets, and I just wanted to select as many assets as possible. I didn't select like any specific ones that I care about. I just went in and basically selected as many as I could. So this, in my opinion, is one of the coolest and most exciting things to come for investing in cryptocurrencies. Especially, I think that especially for brand new beginners, this is going to be an incredible platform for beginners, because it allows them to just go in and say, you know what, I don't really want to go to an exchange and trade Bitcoin for every single one of these types of assets. I'm just going to go on Prism and create a smart contract that allows me to basically make my own fund using all of these different types of crypto assets. And I'm going to let it sit there and just either, you know, go up or go down with the market. And you don't have to worry about a thing. And what's really cool about it is you can easily go in and rebalance your fund. I could literally go in right now and change. I could get rid of some of these assets. I could change the percentages of these assets. And when I do that, it changes my smart contract for these specific assets. This is really, really cool stuff, guys, and I just wanted to show you guys this. This is specifically for brand new beginners, but honestly, this is something that I wouldn't mind using on a day-to-day basis, just because it is so easy. Now, I realize that it's probably a little bit more expensive than placing my own trades, but this is so seamless. I think that this could be used by anyone and everyone. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm going to go ahead and switch to this camera. And I'm going to go ahead and answer a question that was asked the other day. And then I'm going to open up to questions from everybody in the audience. So let's see here. Coinbase asked me 2 days ago, he said, Clay, you mentioned exchanges and choosing the one that is most suitable. What are the important things to look for when choosing an exchange? So when I look at an exchange, I look for several things. The first thing that I look for is security. Security matters more to me than anything else on the market. Security is everything when it comes to digital assets, because if the exchange is not secure, then your money is not secure. And if your money is not secure, then you could easily lose your entire investment if you have it on an exchange. So first of all, I don't keep all of my money on exchanges. I don't keep a large portion of my money on exchanges. I actually use a hardware wallet that I keep most of my funds on, but I do swing trade. And so the first thing that I look for whenever I search for exchanges is security. And honestly, I think the most secure exchange out there right now is probably Bittrex. And the reason I say that is because they are so adamant and determined on keeping your funds secure that recently they stopped allowing new people to join their exchange. They are not allowing any new registrations because they're worried that their infrastructure isn't good enough for all of these newcomers that are just getting into the market. And so they cut off registrations so that they could continue to build their infrastructure and not allow DDoS attacks and, newcomers to bring down their site, because they know that in the past, exchanges that did go down due to reasons like that lost a lot of their customers and lost a lot of people a lot of money. So first thing is security. Second thing is volume. Now, if an exchange doesn't have enough volume to allow me to swing trade properly, then I don't even bother with that exchange. Now, with some smaller exchanges, you can take a look at them and you can make a lot of money off of them, but it's going to take you a longer time to do so. With larger exchanges, with more volume, you can actually swing trade at a much quicker pace, and I prefer to do that personally. Now, that is going to be a personal decision on your behalf, and you're going to have to make that decision on your own. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that second thing, volume. The third thing that I take a look at is trading pairs. I want as many trading options as possible, as long as the exchange has good security and good volume. So if it has the first two things and it has a lot of trading pairs, then that is the exchange that I look for. Right now, the two exchanges that I'm using outside of GDAX are Binance and Bittrex. So those are the three things that I look for whenever choosing an exchange. Now, obviously, everybody has to make that decision on their own. I can't tell you what exchanges to use because my preferences are going to be different than yours. But first and foremost, security should always, always, always be the number one thing that you're looking for in exchange. So that's what I wanted to talk about with that specific question. That was a very great question, Coinbite, so thank you so much for asking that. Now, at this time, we're about 50 minutes into the live stream. I'm going to open up Q&A to anybody in the audience right now. Any questions that you might have, I'm going to scroll up here and see if there are any questions that I haven't taken a look at. And I'm going to answer any questions that you guys might have right now in the comments section. So let's scroll up and see. Is there any way of avoiding fees when I transfer Bitcoin to Binance? Is there another exchange I could use? Jack Freeman asked that. Unfortunately, Jack Freeman, no, there is not any way that you can avoid fees on the Bitcoin blockchain. Anytime you transact on the Bitcoin blockchain, there are going to be fees associated with it. Sometimes exchanges have fees, and then you have the miner fees that are attached to that transaction as well. And so if you're using something like Coinbase, you could transfer your funds from Coinbase to GDAX, and from GDAX you actually have less fees when sending and receiving. So if I were you and you're using Coinbase, I would send those funds over to GDAX and transact from there. I hope that answers that for you. All right. Eric Phillips asked $1.3 trillion market cap by this time next year. That is really hard to say, Eric, but I definitely think that in the next year or two, we could easily see a $1 trillion market cap. Sean Adlai asked, should I sell when it hits a high, then wait? I believe you asked that whenever I was talking about Bitcoin, and honestly, that is a really great strategy. If you sell whenever Bitcoin hits a new all-time high and then wait for it to correct, that's not a bad strategy. However, I'm not a financial advisor, and I can't tell you what to do with your investments. So I will say that that is a decent strategy if you choose to do that. However, again, I'm not a financial advisor. All right. Matt Heister asked, Clay, could you give us your Bitcoin price predictions for December 2018, 2019, 2020, please? Just out of curiosity. Matt, to answer your question, I think that over the next year or two, Bitcoin could hit $100,000 easily. Further than that, I really don't have any predictions, and I hate making predictions just because I am such a fundamentalist and I trade based off of fundamentals. So I'm not a big fan of taking a look at charts and creating technical analysis charts that show price predictions and certain things like that. But I definitely think that Bitcoin, being what it is, could easily hit $100,000 over the next year or two. Luis Hernandez asked, do you have a promo code? Luis, I'm not really sure what you're referring to, but let's continue on here. Real benefit of that is that it's... Okay. Prism seems like a cool tool to use. We'll check it out. Is Ripple experiencing server problems? I'm missing some XRP in my wallet. It's definitely possible, man. And that's one of the problems that I have with Ripple, is that it is so centralized, and if their infrastructure fails, then the network itself fails. So that's why I prefer peer-to-peer decentralized transactions, because if you take a look at Ethereum, it would be incredibly hard for the Ethereum network to fail as a whole, because there are so many people that are mining it in their homes and building, warehouses full of mining rigs. Okay, Kevin Watson asked, how do you use EMA 12 and EMA 26 on GDAX? Kevin, I would have to look into that question for you, but let me set a reminder for that and take a look at that for you, and I might try to answer that for you sometime this week. Rel asked, with about $200 to invest, what coins would you suggest looking at? Well, with $200 to invest, there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there that are $5 or less, and I actually recently did a video on cryptocurrencies, like my top 5 cryptocurrencies that are below $5. And so for you specifically, I would take a look at that video that I recently did and see if any of those assets would fit your needs. If you send an email on Coinbase between 2 users, it's free. Okay, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I really liked your performance in Nightcrawler. Okay, thanks, man. Looking at changing my wallet for Bitcoin, any recommendations? Currently using Exodus, but only because I am holding. So what I tell everybody is, if you have over $100 invested in cryptocurrencies, I highly advise you to get a hardware wallet. I personally use the Ledger Nano S. However, there are several different options out there, and you could take a look at which one best suits you. However, I don't like online wallets, and I believe Exodus is one of those wallets that is always online. So I would take a look at either a hardware wallet or even a paper wallet. Paper wallets are very secure, being that they are never online. So if you're planning on trading, though, then maybe getting the core wallet that has segregated witness implemented on it. Promo code to Prism. I'm trying to sign up, and there's a field for a promo code. Interesting. I did not know that. Let's see. I actually don't know. Maybe, maybe it's this. I'll just paste that right there. Or, I really don't know, man. That is a great question. I'll have to look into that for you. I don't really want to spend too much time doing that right now, but maybe it's that right there. Greetings, Clay, from Australia. Welcome, man. What do you think about Hashgraph? I actually don't know much about that, and so I don't want to give my opinion on it, just based on the fact that I like to do a ton of research on things before I give my opinion on it. You know, I don't claim to be an expert about anything, but I definitely do a lot of research before I invest in something or before I even try to give my opinion on something. So we're coming up on 7:30, and I wanted to end tonight's episode by doing a drawing of $25 worth of Bitcoin. So anybody that's watching right now, I want you to go ahead and copy and paste your Bitcoin wallet address into the live chat right now, and I'm going to do a drawing on everybody that posts their address. So I'm going to give about 2 minutes for everybody to post their Bitcoin address. And so let's go ahead and start that, get it going. Kevin asked, have you invested in any ICOs? I have. Now, I'm not a big fan of initial coin offerings, but there have been a couple of ICOs that have really caught my eye, and those two are Tezos, the Tezos project, and NVO. NVO is a decentralized exchange that is being built right now by several cryptocurrency or blockchain enthusiasts. So I'm really looking forward to that exchange. And Tezos is a blockchain that is going to be self-amending based on consensus of the blockchain itself. So I'm really looking forward to that project as well. All right. So we got about 1 more minute, guys, to enter your Bitcoin wallet onto. Let's go ahead and okay. We still got about 20 seconds, guys. Go ahead and throw your Bitcoin addresses on there. All right. We're going to go ahead and do a random. Here we go. All right. The recipient tonight is going to be 1HHZ. The last 2 digits are GR. So let's see who that is. Ryan Hubbard, congratulations, man. You won the $25 worth of Bitcoin. Congrats, man. I am going to go ahead and grab. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So I actually left a little note. Congrats, Ryan Hubbard. And you actually just asked a question. Do you plan on using your Discord and building it up for these live streams? I'm not quite sure yet. Not really sure how exactly I'm going to use Discord. I might eventually try and have some guests on the show on my live streams. So Discord would definitely be a great place to get that started. However, I'm not quite sure how I want to implement this moving forward. Right now, I kind of want to keep things simple, where it's just me talking to you guys by myself and bringing specific subjects to the table. But I definitely am willing to take suggestions on what you guys would like to see for these live streams. I am always on board for hearing what you guys have to say, and I always appreciate all of your comments and concerns, your questions. So anytime you guys have anything that you would like to bring to the table, you can use my Discord server, or you can talk to me on YouTube and leave a comment there. I really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the subscribes this month. I think we've had 500 new subscribers this month, so it has been a hell of a month for me. on YouTube, and I definitely couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for leaving all of your love in the comment section. That's going to be it for tonight, though. I hope that you guys have an awesome weekend, and I hope to see you next Friday. See you later, guys. Crypto Clay out.